Alright, a little backstory. My truck is a early 99, completely stock, two-wheel drive. It's got a few upgraded components in the transmission because I bought it, it was smoked. Engine's completely stock. Only thing on there is a boost gauge. That's about it. I got the high idle feature on the Hydra tuner on right now, and I absolutely love it. First things first, I've driven it a few times at night, and I've noticed that the pedal is super responsive. Wakes this thing up. Like, you drive it stock and it's like you got to give it half throttle to tell the turbo, hey, you need to come alive. With, you know, just the daily driver tunes on it, it feels just like any other gas car. It's like you give a little bit of throttle and it gets up a little bit faster. Turbo gauge maxed out at 15 psi stock. Now it maxes out about 22, 23 psi. It's like, I thought, you know, my goal was, oh, you got to put rods in it, you got to build it so you can make 600 horsepower, 700, and all that mess. Dude, this thing with just the 80 horsepower daily driver tune, this thing feels so fast. Like, it's almost like if you ride a crotch rocket for the first time, it's like if I ain't bolted down to this thing, it's going to drive off without me. That's what this thing feels like. It's like it's hauling ass. There she is. It's currently 7 degrees outside, so I don't know if that makes more power or does anything, but like I said, two-wheel drive. It was on the block heater all night, and it is morning time. I'm gonna let it get warm in here, but tune 1 is stock, tune 9 is 80 horsepower daily driver, and tune 15 is balls to the wall 140 horsepower extreme. Now, me personally, I can't tell the difference between 80 plus and 140. You know, I'm new to this whole 7.3 life, but one thing I will say, the setup process was so easy. You go into the little tool manager and you click tool, you know, where you got files and all that, and it says tools. You go in there and it tells you to calibrate your box. You put in your computer code on it and it tells you, oh, these are the files that you could use on this computer. And you click the one-click setup and it literally loads 1 through 15. All your tow tunes, all your daily driver tunes, your performance tunes, your race tunes, and your extreme tune. Like, it was completely one click. I loved it. Also, if you do this for the first time and you hear, oh yeah, by the way, if your truck doesn't start, you didn't scrape off enough on that little, you know, little chip in the back. Let me tell you, if you scrape once and think you got it, you didn't. Scrape it again. And if you think you got it then, you didn't. Scrape it again, because it happened to me. I thought, oh, surely that's enough. Plugged it in. I noticed the glow plug light wasn't coming on. I was like, oh, that's weird. Tried to start it, wouldn't start. So I took it back out, scraped it again, and I thought, you know what, just to be safe, I'm going to scrape it down even further. Plugged it back in, turned the truck on, runs. But if you're a big guy like me, I will just say this, it's going to be about an hour or two to finagle some sort of way without a cordless automatic ratchet drive. You know, those little regular 1/4 inch ratchet or 3/8 inch ratchet, but it's motorized. If you ain't got one of them, it's gonna be hard if you're a fat guy like me, but you can do it. I did it, obviously, but all you need is 10 millimeter, and that's it. But this is what my Centurion F-350 looks like. LEDs are a bit, you know, gone. A few of them are gone, but it's supposed to be like those Starlight headliners from the 90s that obviously didn't come in the 90s, but that's the only thing I can compel them to. Had to swap out light bulbs, but they do work. And that is my boost gauge. I did have a trans gauge, obviously. I mean, I still got it, but it was never plugged up to begin with, so this is all I got. And each test will be 0 to 60. I'll do 0 to 60 stock, 0 to 60 80 horsepower, and then I'll probably do 0 to 60 stock again, and then do 0 to 60 140, so that way you can get a comparison between stock and the highest performance daily, and then stock and highest performance total on a forged rod early 99. So quite literally 0 to 60, this is stock. kind of slow, to be honest. All right, we're on tune 9, 80 horsepower daily driver. Oh, good Lord. And we're done. All right, back to tune 1, 0 to 60 again. Here we go. As you can see, 215, and I apologize if you haven't been able to see the boost gauge, but this is 140 extreme. Oh, good Lord. So hopefully that was a good example to you of what a completely bone stock, you know, 7.3 can do. Now, I got 410 gears. I got a regular, you know, 4R100. So nothing special to this truck. No upgraded sticks, no upgraded turbo, everything completely stock. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch this truck after this, you know. Maybe four-wheel drive swap it, because, you know, that's what everybody says they're going to do, but never really do, unless you're a big famous YouTuber. But still, it's something I do want to do, because that was a really one thing holding me up about this truck, was that it was two-wheel drive. And I was like, man, this thing is so slow. I got to run faster than this truck. And it's two-wheel drive? Ugh. But now that this thing gets up and goes, I'm like, okay, it's worth keeping and building. And right now, I think this truck literally just, you know, front end swap to 08 to 10 with four-wheel drive. Ain't got to touch this truck. Also, I don't know if I want to do a hood stack or regular stacks, but modified exhaust definitely in the paperwork. I just don't know how all this is going to cost, you know, four-wheel drive swap and all that, because I got automatic transmission. You know, it only needs a case and a billet output shaft and the transfer case to be four-wheel drive capable, or I could do a ZF5 swap. But then again, you know, this is sort of my cruise truck. I don't really want to have to be shifting gears. If I buy a Mustang or something like that, definitely want manual, because, you know, it's a sports car. But in my daily driver in my truck, I kind of like the idea of just, you know, driving, don't really got to focus on anything. But yeah, hope this gives you a good idea of what a regular old Hydra tuner can do. It's amazing. Definitely recommend. I bought mine from KC Turbos, and they were I believe $350, and after tax it was just a hair over $400. So definitely worth the buy.